everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about arpeggios and octaves.
Alright,
Let's
so
get
what
going.
is an arpeggio anyway? Well, an arpeggio is playing the chord tones of whatever chord you're in with one hand in a broken fashion but spread over multiple octaves. Now, if that sounds confusing, maybe you should just watch me play this and I'll basically clear everything up. Okay, so say we're in C major, just for easiness sake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be playing this note, this note, this note. So those notes are just a chord. So I'm just going to be playing it upwards. So let's start this. Woohoo! So that is an arpeggio. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to have to teach you how to do it properly. Because that just showing you isn't really teaching you, it's just letting you copycat me. But I need to explain things to you. So, how do we do it? Well, the fingering, first of all, is 1, 2, 3, 5. That's up. But then if we wanted to go more than one octave, then we have to put our thumb there. So that means we have to do a tuck. But our tuck actually takes place from here to here. So it's like way bigger than a regular tuck, because in C major we're only doing this, right? So if you thought that was hard, this could be a little bit of a stretch. So if you have small hands, this is probably going to be a little bit difficult for you. Now, to better facilitate the tuck, or to handle it better, what you're going to have to do is actually play with a slightly higher wrist or arm. Now, when I say higher wrist, I don't mean play like this. That's bad. Play like this. Straight wrist, but higher up. So you have more height, okay? Because you need to be a bit higher. Now, what you want to do is basically start this really slow. Just like that. Now, once you've got the whole higher wrist going on, then what you want to do is get a sort of direction going. So you want, now if you could pretend that there's a hook pulling your arm right there, and it's pulling your arm this way like that, off the stage or whatever, and it's pulling at the same speed. So what your hand is going to try to do is get in as many notes as it can while it's getting pulled away. So even though it's getting pulled away, it's going to be still taking stabs at those notes. And while it's doing this, it's not going to try to flail around and fight it. It's just going to try to stay sort of level. So you're not going to get this going on. Whoops. Now this is sort of awkward because I'm leaning sideways, but okay. So what you want to do here is keep a high wrist like this. Now without going up or down too much, you're just going to go over and then keep moving over like that. Like this. Now when you're going slow to start off with, it's not too big of a deal if you flop around, because you want to be able to get an idea of where the notes are, but as soon as possible try to get away from flopping your wrist up and down. And you want to join all the notes to start off with. Now later on when you want to pick up speed, you've got to do something else. So say you want to play fast, then you've got to play with a different type of touch, because it's actually too hard to join all the notes together, especially the tuck, at a very high speed. So if you're going to do it faster, you need to have a different approach. So what that approach is you're going to actually curl your finger like this. So it's like a chicken scratch. And you're going to pull the key back. And just move your hand. Whoops, I'm trying to look at the display and the keyboard at the same time. So while you're doing this, you're going up and down at one set speed. And you're pulling back. So with your thumb, you're going to do this. That's how I get my... Now, when you're doing it faster, you're going to try to get not very much movement here, but most of it here. By the way, there's 3 types of staccato. There is arm, like elbow staccato, so it's called arm staccato. So it'd be like if you're trying to play staccato like this. And then there's wrist staccato, which is involving the wrist, so it's just like this. It doesn't have very much to do with my arm anymore, it's my wrist. And then there's finger staccato, so it's pulling back with your fingers. Those are the 3 types of staccato. Now, getting back to that, we want to use finger staccato basically to play the notes. Now, with an arpeggio, what you want to do, believe it or not, I actually find the best way to play an arpeggio is once play it eyes open, second time play it eyes closed. Because what happens is when you're trying to go at fast speeds, it can get really dizzying trying to go up and down, trying to watch the keys. So I actually find it much more efficient to play and practice your arpeggios blind, might you say. But it's almost like you develop a sixth sense where you start to see where the keys are going to be in the space of time, in the space that they're signed, without actually looking at them. And you can just plunk your hand down with certainty where those keys are going to be. It's kind of a strange feeling, and it's kind of fun too. Anyway, so that is what that's all about there. Now, so when you're climbing up, what you want to do is sort of look to where your destination is, and then look back to here. Now, another thing with these is they have a very big tendency to be accented in a triplet sort of format. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But that's actually not the way you want to accent them. You want to accent them like this. So count this way. Go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay? Because triplet, or these arpeggios are groups of 4, so that's actually a duple time, not a compound time. So we want to actually be accenting every second note, or eventually we want to accent every 4th note. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I messed that up somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Huh. I think I screwed something up. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's way too late in the morning, early I should say, for me to go look up what I'm missing. But I do know with certainty that you're supposed to accent that note there. Like every 4th note, I know that for sure. I'm absolutely 100% sure about that. So the best thing you can do is accent every second one. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that, just to start out with when you're doing slowly. And then when you get faster, then do every 4th note. Okay? Okay, so once you've got all that, then you'll want to start playing it in different keys. Now, there's only a few types of different arpeggios, so what you want to do is actually practice doing a C major one, then practice doing a D flat major, so it's like this. So I've got my 2nd finger here. Sometimes I put my 3rd. That's bad practice, by the way. I shouldn't do that, but I do. Okay, then I put my thumb here. 2nd there. 4th on the D. Then I just Now you can play with flatter hands when you're doing a black with something like this, because there's not, your thumb plays all the white keys, which those, so, and then the top of your hand plays the other. So it eliminates the whole thumping, like just crashing your thumb down onto the next white key. It's really nice, actually. These are very comfortable to do. So do the C major arpeggio, then do the D flat major, then do the D major. So it's just sort of the same as the C major. And then if you go to E flat major, it's exactly the same as D flat major. Now something you'll notice is when you're playing the C major, you're actually practicing the D minor, the E minor, the F major, the G major, the A minor, all at the same time. So you're actually getting good at all those scales when you're just practicing this one. And then when you're practicing the D flat major, you're practicing D flat, E flat, A flat, arpeggios. And then when you're doing D major, you're practicing D major, E major, and A major. Cool, huh? And sort of G minor, too. And as well C minor. And then the oddball ones would be the complete black key one, which is very awkward to do. It's a F sharp major. So you're all on black keys. Normally you want to avoid using your thumb on black keys, but you have no choice here. So it's just thumb, 2, 3, and then thumb underneath there. Just like that. Bingo! Okay, so that is arpeggios. Now there are other ones you can do as well, which are 4-note arpeggios, and there are dominant 7th arpeggios. So that would be a 4-note arpeggio right there. So how you play that is you play 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and then put your thumb underneath on the C. Now in a way these are almost easier because the attack is a lot smaller. Like that is pretty small compared to doing like this. So there's less of a bump or a gap or whatever you want to call it when you're trying to do it. Now you want to always eliminate those bumps. So like they can be avoided, but they're just hard to work out sometimes. So don't let yourself get discouraged on them. It just takes practice and you'll be able to do it. Me, myself, I'm not very good at my arpeggios because I always neglected them. Probably what I'm the best at is the chromatic scales. That would be my best thing. That's the thing I always like to practice all the time, because I used to use it to build finger strength. But yeah, arpeggios are one of the things that I always neglected. So it's what I'm the worst at, I'd say, technically. Anyway, the thing is, though, arpeggios come out are in all like senior level pieces, so I should really get going on my practicing with them if I ever want to be good. You're probably thinking, well, Andrew, you already are good. Like that's what people tell me, but there's still like way better people out there than me. Like no matter how much you practice, there's always going to be someone better than you at something. Anyway, okay, so those are arpeggios. Now one last thing I just wanted to say is, as there were dominant arpeggios, there's also diminished. So it's the exact same way. So there's diminished, there's dominant, there's major arpeggios, and there's minor arpeggios. So there's all those different types of arpeggios. So start slow, and then when you want to go fast, what you want to do is go very, very slow, be as accurate as you possibly can, and do the staccato, finger staccato. And then eventually you'll get really good accuracy with that, and then all you have to do is move your hand up and down and you can go really fast. And it sounds really nice, basically. Like that didn't sound really nice, but yeah. Eventually it will sound really nice. And it won't take very long. It could take maybe 3 weeks tops, and you'll be able to play them really quickly. And then doing it hands together, that just takes a little bit more practice, but you'll be able to do it as well. Anyway, so there you go. Now, one of the last things I want to cover here are octaves. Now, octaves they're nothing really related to arpeggios, but they're another form of exercise that we can use. Now, how we do them is basically you stretch one octave. Now, if you can't do this comfortably, don't do it so much. Okay? Just do it, like say you can only reach here comfortably, and you just stretch out, and you're like, then I would probably not try to do it. But if you can reach this comfortably, and it's a bit of a stretch to do this, that's okay. Just be careful, okay? So just do it a little bit. Me, myself, I can do this, okay? But I have a student that can reach all the way up to here. He's crazy. I don't even know how you can do it. Well, he has a huge hand, and I don't, obviously. But yeah, anyway, I'm lucky to just be able to reach a tenth. Okay, so what you want to do first of all is first relax your hand like this, and then just kind of let your hands go out at an angle like this, and then just drop them in. Now when you're playing, so what you're going to do is as you drop them in, you're going to push up, slide into the key like this, and then off. That'll give you a nice sound. And what you want to do is create a very relaxed and very stress-free movement. Okay? So that's octaves for you right there. So it's about that simple. Now octaves are used a lot in the left hand for senior level pieces, and somewhat in the right hand too for senior level pieces. Some pieces are just pretty much all octaves everywhere. So get used to those ones, and what you can do to practice them is just do this. Now while you're doing this, try to highlight this note up here. It's the top note. It's like the voice. Just like that. Then you can do chromatic octaves. So you can do 5 and then 4 like this. Now if you want to do it really fast, what you have to do is look at your thumbs. That's where I always look, is I look at my thumbs. If I look everywhere, I get dizzy. What I try to do is try to make that going up and down as straight as possible. If you do this, it's going to be really hard to go fast. But if you do a small, smooth motion like that, as much as smooth as possible, because obviously you can't draw a straight line from here to here to here to here. But just try your best, and you'll be able to do it a little bit better. That's really hard when I'm trying to watch the camera at the same time. Yeah, I'm not even going to try right now. I can't play. Don't want to embarrass myself. Okay. But those are octaves. Now, just don't practice them too much. About 5 minutes a day is good to start off with. And if anything hurts, just stop immediately, okay? I don't want you guys to get hurt. Now, the reason why they're important is because they're used very, very, very much in pieces all the time. So the sooner you get to learn them, the better. Now, if you can't reach them, what you can do is you can roll them. So you can just hit one note and then roll to the other note, like that. That way you don't have to hold it. And that's a way to get past having really small hands. So there you go. That is octaves. That's a very, very brief introduction about octaves. Okay. Take care, guys.
I hope you guys found that helpful. The arpeggios are used quite a bit with, there's a style of piece where you'll have an arpeggio going up and down in the left hand, and the right hand will have sort of a melody, or chords. And those are kind of cool pieces. Nobuo Uematsu is famous for that. If you haven't heard of him, he's a Japanese composer who composed a lot of music for, he started out with video games, but he's sort of transcended that. But he started out with a video game called Final Fantasy, and he especially wrote some really good songs in Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, if you haven't heard of him, I'd check him out. He's a really good composer and he's still alive, actually. Yeah. So and also when you're playing your octaves, be very, very careful. Okay. Be careful, because if your hands are too small or your hands are just weak because you're just starting, if you do too many octaves, you're going to hurt your hand and you could damage it. So make sure that you do it all within moderation. So maybe only like 5 minutes of practice every day with octaves until your hand gets more comfortable and used to it. Okay, so take care, guys.